Alrighty, hello everyone and welcome to Wasteland Energy Shields, a craftable moddable shield for the player, companions, and settlers. Now, these shields are kind of like the shields you find in games like Borderlands and Defiance. They run off the same concept, but they're a little different. Now, since these shields are craftable, you're going to have to find 4 different new pieces that are added to the game, and these only pieces only drop off raiders. Now, you're going to find some raiders carrying maybe 1 or 2 pieces. You may find some that are carrying none. The chance of them dropping seems to be roughly around 90%. You're also going to come across some raiders that are wearing shields. Now, the raiders that are wearing shields have a guaranteed drop of dropping 3 pieces. Now, there are different shields and they require different components, and we'll get to those in a moment. But to start you off, there's going to be a little lunch pail located here underneath this footbridge between Vault 111 and Sanctuary. Inside this pail, there's 8 pieces, 4 of which you need to make a shield. So, you can make yourself a shield and make one for your companion. Or, if you're high enough level, you can create a shield and then go over and add some mods to it. Now, the shields have their own mods, and you can mod each of the sections that you're going to see when you need to create the shield. And to create a shield, just come over to the chemistry station here. You got your energy shield section. Now, you got all the different shields you're going to be able to make. And then you got each of the different sections of the shield. Shield energy, the delay, and then the recharge rate. Now each of these sections you'll be able to mod, and we'll show you those shortly. Alright, so here you got your companions and settlers shields. These will only work on any dog race. You won't be able to wear these. These will only work on human companions and settlers. You can try and equip it, but it's just going to give you a message saying you can't wear it. These shields are for you and they won't work on anyone else. They could equip it, but nothing will happen. Now, as I mentioned before, raiders are going to be the ones dropping these components. These name components, they're going to be dropping these as well, but they're going to be a lot lower chance of dropping. You're going to most commonly find these 4 pieces here, but they do have a chance of dropping these. So, alright, what else was there? No, the raiders with shields. Now, the raiders that do have shields are going to drop 3 of these. Technically, during the fight, one of the shield pieces got broken and it broke up into the 3 different pieces, so that gives you the ability to loot the 3 pieces. The raiders not wearing a shield are technically trying to build themselves a shield. Alright. Raiders that are carrying shields, now they have a higher chance of dropping one of some of these named components. So like right now, I'm level 5. All the raiders are going to have a chance of dropping one of these with loot. When I reach level 10, it's going to add this, and they're going to have a chance of dropping this as well. Now the raiders that are wearing shields, and once I reach level 10, they're only going to have a chance of dropping these. Once I reach level 15, it's going to be one of these. So on and so forth. So if you want to go after a specific shield, and you say you're level 25 and want the stealth shield, you just go up and hit up some raiders between level 25 and 29, and hopefully you find some of them wearing shields and that they're nice enough to drop you some of these pieces. Otherwise, you're going to have to go through the randomness of all the shields, besides this one at 25. Alright, so we're going to build ourselves some shields. So another thing, these you could build as many as you want. There's no limit to how many of these you could have. You can give them to all your settlers and companions. Alright, so we're going to make a shield for Dogmeat here. I'm going to make one for myself. Come hither. So the shields are basically rings. As I said before, this is only for the dog race and will only work for the dogs. And when you equip the ring, or the shield, you're going to see a little animation like that. That lets you know that the shield's working. Player gets the same thing, plus a little sound effect. That's the equipping shield sound in your little animation. When you unequip the shield, it's going to give you a different sound, and that same sound is going to be the sound it plays when your shield depletes. And then there's going to be a third sound, which is when your shield fully recharges. Now you're going to see some animations periodically on the shields, roughly every 60 seconds, and it's going to show you what the shield's capacity is currently at. So right now both of our shields are full capacity. So when our timer time's up, it's going to show a little blue animation letting us know what our shield's at and that we have a shield and it's running. Raider's going to have the same thing. So when you see them running around and stuff like that, and you'll see a little glimmer, it's going to let you know if they have a shield. Also, when you hit them, there's going to be a surefire guarantee if they're wearing a shield or not. Now, when the player receives a shield, you're going to get 2 perks. First perk is one you're going to get with every shield. I separated these off into 2 perks because I was having some technical difficulties with these particular perks, and I've come to a realization that it's something in the game, because it'll say I have the perk but not really give me the attributes to the perk until it's removed and re-added, and then from there on in it works fine. That's something you may want to consider about other perks in the game and mods. Alright, so the first perk is information about the shield with its damage reductions. Pardon my stuttering there. And then the second perk is basically what the shield stats are. Now you're going to have other shields like the scavenger and scientist and whatnot, which you saw before. Now those are going to show information like 100 carry weight plus 25 persuasion for the scavenger and different shield attributes. Now when it comes to modding this shield, you're going to be able to mod each of these where it shows the numbers. You're going to be able to increase this shield from 4 points to 20 points. And then from the recharge delay, you're going to be able to reduce it from 10% to 50%. And you won't be able to do the 50% until around level 50. Same with the 20 capacity, you won't be able to do that until level 50. As you increase levels, more mods will become available. So you'll be able to increase and decrease all of these attributes to these shields. Now, it's up to you to control how strong your shield is. You know, if you find that it's too strong, you could always, mod it around to suit your needs. See, now it's that little animation. Alright, so we're going to spawn a few raiders to give you a better understanding about the drops. As I said before, these shields are a bit different. You will take slight damage from them, since you and some of the raiders are the only ones wearing shields. As you can see, I'm not taking too much damage. It's enough to keep you going. So he's not wearing a shield. Let's see if you are. Yeah, he's wearing a shield. See how his damage is different? See, I made the raiders take a little more damage because you wouldn't want to run into too many raiders with shields. It would suck for you and your companion. Of course you duck right there. As you can see, they're a little here. Also, I'm using another mod called Raider Overhaul. It's making the raiders a little bit tougher. You keep missing. See, my shield just recharged because I haven't been hit. See that? His shield broke. That lets you know the shield broke. And let these two go at it for a little bit.
You having fun? Huh?
Can't let his shield recharge because it started to. Alright, so since he was wearing a shield, he's going to drop 3 pieces. Since I'm level 10, he dropped a scientist. So we got lucky there. This other guy, poor fella, not wearing a shield. Maybe he was trying to build himself one. Yeah, he had 2 pieces. Sorry. So yeah, that's basically how that works. Now if I was level, what was it, 20 or 15, he would have been dropping like the Gunslinger or Gladiator, the one that was wearing the shield. Now since I've acquired a couple components, we're going to head over to the armor station. And this is where you're going to be able to mod your shields. Right now I could only add, increase the shield energy by 4 points, which would make it up to 32. You also got all the other, and these won't start popping up until you reach the specified level. Some of these don't start until level 15, some are 20. No, I don't need to make that. I also made an additional slot for anyone using a mod that allows you to detach and attach legendary mods to other items. So if you have a mod that does that, you'll be able to add legendary mods. Now, Since I can't really show you the stats of the shields when you add mods, like for here for instance, the only way I could tell you that the mod was added is by giving you a message when you add the mod. And there's one more thing.
I have too much to do.
I've noticed that when you attach a mod to any item that you're wearing, it unequips it and re-equips it. I added something to these shields to prevent you from swapping between all the different shields in case one depletes and you want to put another one on. What it does is when you take off a shield, it's going to add a little debuff to you. So when you put another shield on, you're going to have to wait 30 seconds before that shield activates. If you don't put another shield on within 5 minutes, that debuff will just expire on its own. So with that in mind, when you attach a mod, it unequips and re-equips the item. So by it doing that, it unequips and re-equips the shield like it just did. So now you gotta wait 30 seconds. When the shield expires or is taken off, you're gonna see the perks are gone. So now you gotta wait 30 seconds for it to come back on. Think of it this way. Think of it as it's being modded and it needs to recalibrate. Just don't go running into battle right immediately after modding it. Now you could do the same thing with your companions shields, but they also get an additional slot, which we'll show you in a moment here. So you see the shield capacity increased by 4, which should be shield energy.
I enjoy putting them back together.
Let's see if I got enough pieces.
Hey.
I don't think I did. Now with theirs, it's got the same thing, but you also got these additional abilities. So like this one for instance, if you attach this mod to his shield or any of your companion shield, any damage they do to someone is going to cause their target to bleed for 5 seconds. Now the damage is going to be based on the wearer's level. Same with this melee knockback. What this is gives them a little. They already have a shield, but anytime someone hits the shield, the attacker is going to be shocked, knocked back, and take some damage. And that damage is based on the character's level. So you can only equip one of these to each of the shields. Now, some of the raiders are going to start gaining some of these abilities after level 15. This being the first one. So there's a chance you're going to run into a raider wearing a shield that's going to be moving a lot faster than normal. And then as you increase levels, they're going to start gaining, the bleeding ability, the melee knockback, and then increased damage. So watch yourself. That's pretty much the gist of the shields. I mean, they're pretty basic. It's pretty simple. You just build your first shield, go kill raiders, and get a shield that you want. Now, a lot of those named shields I tried to make targeted to specific playstyles. They may change in the future. I just didn't want to make any of these abilities conflict with current perks. So I either made them extend current perks or I made some completely new abilities like the melee knockback. And the bleed damage I had to customize based on the character level. There's another thing about radiation. Another thing to not make these too powerful. I made it so radiation will eat these shields up. So don't go standing around in radiation with your shield thinking that nothing's going to happen. I mean, you're not going to take any damage, but it's just going to gobble your shield up. Now, I'm not really taking that much radiation because, putting the shield on, I'm also getting, 500 resistances. But there are going to be places, like the sea, where it'll just gobble your shield up within seconds. So that's that on the radiation. So if you're in combat and in a radiated area, good luck to you. Now you're not going to take any radiation, as you see. Let's see what else I'm missing. I think that's about it. Just aside from a few bugs that are running around in the game with adding the perk, and there is one crafting bug that has been bothering me, is when I hit the craft, and if you hit E, it'll craft the right item. But if you click with your mouse button, and then when you click it and you accidentally click one of the other shields, it makes that shield, which is, I find, very strange because you won't have the components and it'll make that shield. So if you kind of want to cheat, you can create a basic shield and then quickly click one of the other shields and it'll make that shield. I'm letting you use your judgment on that. Plus, I'm letting people know in case that happens to them and they didn't want that shield. So just to play it safe, click E or Enter or whatever it is that you need to click to create the shield. Alright, I hope you all enjoy.